Hey guys, what is up? So today I thought I would share 5 of the most common reasons why your hair might be falling out and things to definitely just double check. And also when I say hair loss, this also applies to just like thinning of the hair as well. So let's just jump straight into it. So the first cause is your iron. It is really worth going to the doctor and having your iron levels checked. A common symptom of having low iron levels is hair loss, because with the lack of iron you have lack of oxygen supply basically to your follicles, and your hair needs that oxygen supply through our blood in order to grow basically. So if you have got low iron stores, then you're not getting enough of the oxygen there to the hair follicle. Another thing also to know is that with the lack of oxygen, this can also inhibit the cell growth and repair as well. So it's not just about the lack of oxygen affecting just the general growth of the hair from the head, but it's also about the actual cell growth and repair. So the cells that actually need to create that hair growth, they also need to be nurtured as well, and oxygen is a main contributor to nurturing those cells. Okay, cause number 2 is androgen. So a hormonal imbalance can definitely contribute to hair loss and hair thinning. So typically when it comes to hormones, it is testosterone, that's the androgen we're looking at, and it tends to be raised when people are experiencing hair loss. Well, if it is the cause of your hair loss. I do just want to be clear, like going through these things does not mean you're going to have all of these. These are all possible causes of hair loss, so it might just be one of these things, or maybe it might not be any of them, but like I said, these are just the most common ones. I'm just trying to help a little bit where I can. So I was actually reading some research papers prepping for this video, and I did just write down a couple of notes to share on this. So basically the activation of increased androgens actually shortens the anagen stage of our hair growth. So our hair growth, we have 4 different stages. You have your anagen stage, you have your catagen stage, your telogen stage, and your exogen stage. And your anagen stage, that first stage, is all about the growth. So having high androgens can actually inhibit and affect that stage of hair growth. Now what I find really interesting about this is that the anagen stage, like that is the hair growth stage. So if you're having issues with that and that stage is being shortened, then that can lead to a couple of things. It can lead to thinning. It can lead to having shorter like hairs. So if the hair is starting to come through, but then you notice that there's certain hairs that just don't grow any longer, like they stay really short, like that's one of the effects. But also if those follicles are affected so much, then the hair growing might not even make it through the epidermis of the scalp. Some other things that are kind of coming off testosterone in this topic is when people, especially if they do have androgenic alopecia, it's really common to see raised levels of 5-alpha reductase, which is an enzyme. And basically what this can stimulate is the conversion of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, which is the more potent form of testosterone. Now the concern with the dihydrotestosterone is that this more potent form has an even bigger affinity with the androgen receptors. So basically everything that I said about how androgens affect the anagen part of the hair growth cycle, because those androgen receptors are stimulated, dihydrotestosterone has an even bigger affinity with those receptors. So if you do have raised levels of dihydrotestosterone, then yeah, definitely that's going to be an even bigger concern. So just rounding off this point on androgens, yeah, definitely recommend chatting to your GP about it and ask them if it's something that they can have a little look into as you try and get to the root cause of your hair concerns. So the next thing that you can have a look at is your thyroid function. If your thyroid is struggling, this can actually disrupt the development of your hair follicles. And basically if it is struggling and it is interfering, what can happen is that when your hair does fall out, it may not regrow, and obviously that is going to contribute to the hair particularly thinning. So if you notice the hair is really thinning a lot, then yeah, definitely have a little look at your thyroid function. I do just want to touch on quickly what's normal and what's not with like hair falling out, because we should actually lose hair daily. So we should lose between 50 to 100 hairs a day, which sounds like quite a lot. But the thing is, we have so many hairs on our heads that actually, you know, that it's not a crazy amount of hair that you actually are losing. But one thing I do want to say is that obviously it's going to depend on your hair length as well, how much that looks like. So for example, when my hair falls out, like if I brush it, or like for example I'm washing my hair, like if I ball that up, like my hair loss, even if it's the same amount as someone else who is losing like 50 to 100 hairs a day, say they've got short hair, obviously mine's going to look like a lot more hair. So do bear that in mind, because I know, like, because I have long hair, I know there has been moments where I've looked and I'm like, is that normal? So what I would say in terms of hair loss, things to look out for to know if this is a concern is definitely thinning. If you just notice your hair is getting thinner, then that's definitely one sign. Number two, obviously if there is patches obviously coming up and you are losing hair in areas and it is causing more like balder spots, then of course, then that's a concern. Or if your hair just constantly falls out, like if you run your fingers through it, if lots of hair is coming out, even if you've brushed it and then you do that afterwards and it's still coming out, then of course that is a concern. And although I completely appreciate there's probably people watching this who are like, hun, I know my hair's falling out, like, don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. I'm not. I'm just saying this because there might be some people, especially younger people who maybe just haven't learned these things yet, who are noticing hairs coming out in the shower, and actually that can be normal, and they're panicking and searching the internet of reasons showing me why their hair's falling out when actually it is normal. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, so next up, let's talk about stress. Stress 100% can affect our hair. Now, stress can affect our hair in a couple of different ways. I mean, it can affect it from an internal point of view, of course, because stress is really that suppressor. Like, stress is such a hidden devil, if I'm going to be honest. Like, it is a thing that a lot of us kind of glaze over and we push to a side and we try to ignore. But honestly, like in so many different medical concerns, stress plays such a big role with the human body and with disease progression. So definitely with that suppressive quality of stress, that can affect our hair growth. However, there's the other side of stress, which can be pulling at the hair subconsciously. So this also applies to eyelashes as well. Some people will like pick out eyelashes and they don't realize they're doing it. It's a subconscious thing. It's a response to stress. And yet same on the head as well. But the other thing as well with stress is that when we go through stressful periods of our life, you might also notice that other areas of your life maybe go off of track. Like it could be your diet, maybe, you know, for example, if you're really stressed, you might find that you actually don't eat as much, like you might stop eating, that's really common. Or like, for example, the types of foods you're eating can change if you're under stress. And the diet, which is actually we're going to talk about in a minute, that definitely has a direct correlation with your hair, because you have, you know, if you're, for example, not eating, then you're not getting all the nutrients. When we have like trauma or stressful events in life, it can affect the hair for about 2 to 6 months. But it's definitely something that you can reverse. You just got to get hold of that stress. So please do not ignore your stress and just check in with that, because it definitely can be one of the reasons that your hair might be suffering. So the next thing I want to talk about is malnutrition. And when I say malnutrition, I'm not talking about like starving yourself or not eating anything. Like, yes, that is definitely one thing, but what it boils down to is a lack of nutrients. So that either could be a very poor diet where you're just not getting the vitamins and minerals from your food, or it could be, as I said, like under eating and you are just not eating to get those vitamins and minerals. Our hair does need certain vitamins and minerals for healthy hair and healthy hair growth. This is why when people struggle with their hair, one of the first things people do is look for like hair and skin multis and, you know, these hair gummy bears and all this stuff. It's because we need certain vitamins and minerals. So what I would say is supplements, you know, they're fantastic to get levels back up. Yes, they can be very effective, but they are not just a shortcut. You need to address your diet. look at your diet. Are you eating your veg? You know, get the fruit and veg up. You're trying to get the array of different colors through your veg. Like, that is your multivitamin. So please try and get that up. Try and reduce all the processed rubbish food. Like, try and get more whole foods, real foods into the diet, and it's going to really help your nutrient status. The change in my hair was one of the quickest things I saw when I changed my diet many years ago, when I first really discovered about nutrition and health and everything. But yeah, it just really blew me away about how just changing my diet impacted my hair. So it's definitely something to mention in this video. Get up those whole foods. Okay guys, so I really hope this video has been helpful. If you would like a video sharing like products that I love, or like other little hair care tips and things that I do to look after my hair quality, etc., then let me know, and I will definitely film that for you. If not, I'll pop it over on my other channel. So, oh yeah, okay, I haven't mentioned this yet. You may have seen it on my community page, but I've actually started up a vlog channel. So it's just called Ebony Jane, and over there I am just posting vlogs and just everyday life. It's basically a very relaxed channel. So on this channel I try and keep it more educational, just giving you all the tips and information just to help you guys better your health, and yeah, just everything that surrounds that. And yeah, over on the new channel, Ebony Jane, that's much more relaxed. It's more like daily vlogs, or just like videos that I just really want to film but maybe just don't really make sense to post on this channel. So yeah, if you want to check out that channel, I'll leave it linked down below. And if you enjoy seeing behind the scenes of my life, then definitely subscribe to that channel as well. But yeah, anyway guys, I love you guys so much. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these videos with tips, etc. in and you find them useful. And I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.